Thank you everyone out there for joining us today. My goal with this presentation is to introduce you all to the Coyote Valley Conservation Areas Master Plan and share information about what we hope to achieve with the plan and how you can help us shape this vision for Coyote Valley's future. To start, I want to pull up this bird's eye view image looking west over Coyote Valley that you may recognize if you've joined us at previous webinars. The areas highlighted in bright green and outlined in gold will be the focus of the master plan, and I'll talk more about these geographic areas in a bit. It's exciting to look at this map and see the great strides that have been made towards conserving Coyote Valley's natural and agricultural lands for future generations. But this conservation success story didn't happen overnight. 20 years ago, it seemed inevitable that the bright green areas on that bird's eye view would now be covered with suburban office parks. Coyote Valley's conservation is the result of tireless efforts of generations of advocates and community leaders who have worked to refocus development closer to the urban core, stop suburban sprawl, and save Coyote Valley's incredibly valuable natural and working lands for future generations. Groups like the Committee for Green Foothills, Greenbelt Alliance, Audubon Society, our local tribes, and many other organizations and individuals have worked to protect Coyote Valley, and that work goes on today. Our conservation work in Coyote Valley is also taking place in the context of several related efforts to protect natural and working lands for climate resilience. I'll highlight just a few of the efforts listed here. AB 948, authored by State Assembly member Ash Kalra in 2019, established the Coyote Valley Conservation Program and designates the entirety of Coyote Valley as a landscape of critical statewide significance. Coyote Valley will be key to achieving our region's ability to meet the goals set by both President Biden and Governor Newsom's 30 by 30 executive orders to protect 30% of our natural and working lands by 2030. The master plan has also been closely coordinated with efforts led by the City of San Jose and the County of Santa Clara to further protect Coyote Valley's natural and working lands, like updates to Coyote Valley's land use regulations in both jurisdictions. These and other efforts will complement the master plan and help protect Coyote Valley's conservation values. The master plan will build off a lot of great work that's already been completed. The 2017 Coyote Valley Landscape Linkage Report is a foundational document for the master plan. It includes early ideas for habitat restoration and infrastructure needed to allow wildlife to traverse the landscape safely. The master plan will also build off studies on how existing transportation infrastructure running through Coyote Valley impact wildlife movement, like the Monterey Road study completed in 2019. Those of you who joined us for the first webinar heard about how important Coyote Valley is as a landscape linkage for wildlife, connecting 1.1 million acres of critical habitat in the Santa Cruz Mountains and Diablo Range. And if you joined our second webinar, you heard a lot about Coyote Valley's water resources from my colleague, Jake Smith and Zoe Diggory at Valley Water. The master plan will build off recent studies of the valley's historical ecology and preliminary analysis of how to restore its water resources, like the historic Laguna Seca, shown on this slide, before and after it was drained in 1916. These past studies have shown us that the conserved lands of Coyote Valley are not a blank slate and are home to critical wildlife habitat and water resources that must be carefully considered and protected. These lands were acquired by the Open Space Authority, the Peninsula Open Space Trust, and the City of San Jose with those primary conservation values in mind. The master plan will create a roadmap for restoring and stewarding Coyote Valley's conserved lands as a multi-benefit landscape that strikes the right balance between the wide range of goals we have for Coyote Valley. To do this, the Open Space Authority will lead a science-based and community-informed planning process in partnership with POST and the City of San Jose. Creating the plan will require close collaboration with our partners, with experts in a wide range of fields, and with the diverse communities of the area. Coyote Valley is a complex landscape, and the master plan will have to look at the area from a variety of different geographic scales. We're calling them geographic tiers, and I'll describe them now. The first geographic tier is the North Coyote Valley Conservation Area. This is the area near the intersection of Bailey Avenue and Santa Teresa Boulevard. It was purchased by POST, the authority in the City of San Jose in 2019. San Jose using Measure T funds due to the land's ability to provide flood protection. In many ways, North Coyote Valley is the heart of the master planning process. It's the narrowest portion of Coyote Valley where we have the greatest potential to create a landscape linkage for wildlife across the valley floor, connecting the mountain ranges. It's home to the historic Laguna Seca freshwater marsh and seasonal lake, a very rare and extremely valuable habitat for native wildlife, and an important water resource that can play a key role in protecting our groundwater aquifer and blunting the impacts of extreme weather events like flooding downstream. The next geographic tier is the Mid-Coyote Valley Conservation Area. This is the area located between Laguna Avenue on the north and Palm Avenue on the south, largely west of Santa Teresa Boulevard. We currently have conserved about 400 acres of land here, much of it along the path of Fisher Creek, a waterway that flows from the foothills of the Santa Cruz Mountains north into Laguna Seca, and then to Coyote Creek, and then to the San Francisco Bay. Mid-Coyote Valley includes rich agricultural lands that offer great potential to pilot and demonstrate how agriculture and habitat restoration can be good neighbors. The master plan will contemplate restoration options for Fisher Creek and make recommendations for continued agricultural uses in this area. The third tier is the Coyote Valley Conservation Program area. This is the 17,200 acre area defined by Assembly Bill 948 that encompasses the entirety of Coyote Valley, from San Jose to Morgan Hill and from ridge to ridge. To effectively plan for the future of Coyote Valley's conserved lands, we need to look beyond the boundaries of those lands and consider how they fit into this larger landscape. Things like water resource planning, transportation, regional trails, and many more aspects of the plan need to be considered at this regional scale. Our team has defined 10 preliminary master plan goals that span the many conservation benefits that Coyote Valley can provide, and I'll go through them right now. We want to create a master plan for the conserved lands of Coyote Valley that will enhance wildlife habitat and ecological connectivity, and realize Coyote Valley's irreplaceable role as a critical landscape linkage by restoring diverse habitats and bridging barriers to wildlife movement. We want to sustainably manage and restore water resources and improve the land's ability to capture stormwater, recharge groundwater, improve water quality, support rare groundwater dependent habitats, and reduce the severity of downstream flooding. We want to improve public health via access to nature and provide ways for people from throughout the region to enjoy Coyote Valley via carefully sited trails and amenities, and consider how the landscape can be designed to support nature-based educational and wellness-focused programming. We want to foster ongoing and inclusive community engagement and invite people from all walks of life to participate in both the planning and the ongoing stewardship of Coyote Valley, with a special focus on initiatives and programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. We want to work closely with Indigenous communities and other local experts to identify and appropriately preserve, interpret, and steward the natural, cultural, and historic resources within the conserved lands of Coyote Valley. We want to create an adaptable, science-based, and phased plan that strengthens Coyote Valley's resilience to changing climate conditions and leverages the landscape's ability to serve as natural infrastructure that can buffer our communities from the effects of climate change. We want to support local agriculture on Coyote Valley's conserved lands in ways that align with our habitat and water management goals and demonstrate the benefits of regenerative, sustainable, and wildlife-friendly agriculture. And we want to tap into the potential for Coyote Valley's conserved lands to support the local economy in ways that are consistent with our overarching conservation goals, like programs and nature-based activities that promote green jobs and workforce development. We want to promote equitable and sustainable transportation modes in Coyote Valley via street design improvements, welcoming gateways and staging areas, and programs or services that promote access via walking, biking, public transit, and other sustainable travel modes. And finally, we want to look beyond the boundaries of the currently conserved lands in Coyote Valley to consider how they fit into the broader holistic vision for the future of our region. So lots of great goals we want the master plan to achieve. And to do that, over the next 2 years, our team will be conducting a robust community-based planning process that will lead to a draft master plan document, followed by required environmental review. The plan will identify early implementation projects to be constructed on the conserved lands within the next 5 to 10 years, as well as set forth a big picture vision for a 20 to 30-year time horizon. Community engagement, stewardship, and demonstration projects will be ongoing throughout the entire planning process. Right now, we are focused on early engagement efforts like interviews and site visits and meeting with key stakeholders to help our team learn more about the open space needs of our local communities. In the coming months, we will turn our attention to finalizing a community engagement plan for the master plan. We anticipate a wide range of engagement activities from site tours to workshops and more, and I look forward to sharing more once the plan is finalized. Our goal is to create community-driven design guidelines for Coyote Valley and provide engaging ways for you to help us shape the plan through all stages of its development. In the meanwhile, I encourage everyone to visit our website, openspaceauthority.org/cvcamp. On the website, you can sign up for our mailing list and stay up to date on upcoming opportunities to explore and learn more about Coyote Valley through the authority's interpretive programs, or learn about opportunities to help us steward the landscape through our volunteer programs. And finally, just stay plugged in to upcoming opportunities to engage in the master planning process. And we want to hear from you now. Our post-webinar survey will include questions where you can share your thoughts on the goals for Coyote Valley and offer feedback on the types of community engagement activities you'd like to see take place as the master planning process unfolds. I encourage everyone to fill it out. Your feedback is really important to us and greatly appreciated.